This video is brought to you by OddsJam. They have the best tools out there for arbitrage betting, which is like betting both sides of a coin. It's going to come up heads or tails, so you win either way. Every sportsbook has different odds, and OddsJam tracks all these odds so that you know exactly what games to bet and how much to bet so that you will always come out on top completely stress-free by playing both sides. It's not betting so much as it is math. I'm already up over $1,200 after 10 days just using their calculator and doing exactly what it says, not having lost once despite placing hundreds of bets in that time frame. One of those was during the Eagles-Saints game, as I bet both sides on whether Rashid Shaheed would score a touchdown, and came away with a nice profit as a result. And there have been moments that I pounced on arbitrage odds like these, where you can turn a 20% to 30% profit completely stress-free. OddsJam's tool makes everything one click away, and there are hundreds of bets like that every single day based on the sports books available in your area. If you do exactly as they say, you will literally always come out ahead, just as I have. If you sign up now using my promo code JG9, not only do you get a 7-day free trial, and not only does it help the channel out a lot, but you get 25% off your first month. Link in the description. So sign up for OddsJam today, where the odds will be in your favor. September 22nd, 2024. It's week 3 of the NFL season, and we've got an interconference battle on our hands in a rematch of Super Bowl 41 between the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts over at Lucas Oil Stadium. To say that this was a football game might honestly be an insult to football games, because this game was absolutely pitiful. If you watched this and wondered how either of these teams are not just two of the top 32 teams in the world, but were expected by many to make the playoffs, or at the very least, compete for the playoffs, you're not alone. This game was full of miscues on the offensive side, bizarre play calls, atrocious mistakes that most players and most teams don't make, and worst of all, some awful coaching decisions that left everyone scratching their head in confusion and disgust. This game had it all, and not in a good way. However, this channel has it all in a good way, as we have a video every single day about the weird and the wacky history of the NFL. So if you like that sort of stuff, then be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we post on the channel or a single time that we do a live stream. Thanks in advance for your support as we try and hit 70,000 subscribers. After the first incredibly drunk 58 minutes of the contest, with 2:01 left, the Bears find themselves down by 5 points, trailing 21-16. Chicago only has one timeout left, so they're in some serious trouble, and they're going to give it back to the Colts by kicking it off. Now, if you're the Bears here, it's absolutely imperative that you kick this ball out of bounds or kick it short. Your number one goal in this kickoff, if you're not trying for the onside kick, bar none, is to force the Colts to call a play before the 2-minute warning so that play is used as an extra timeout in your benefit. If you don't do that, the difference in when you're going to get it back is absolutely massive. You must kick this ball short of the landing zone or out of bounds. You cannot give the Colts a chance to return this ball and take it past the 2-minute mark. You cannot give the Colts...
Santos kicks it away. Gould.
Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something look awful almost immediately. These are moves where a gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this could possibly work, and sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of Chicago Bears head coach Matt Eberflus. I went on record last week and said that after that loss to the Houston Texans, that Eberflus coached the worst game by anyone at that point in the 2024 season, as even though the year was young, there was no excuse for that. From the wasted challenges on obvious plays, to the atrocious clock management at the end of the first half that gave the Texans a chance to do something for no reason whatsoever, which you can learn more about by clicking the card in the upper right corner, Eberflus was downright abysmal, and his already hot seat entering the 2024 season got even hotter. And this was another one of those awful coaching decisions that made no sense whatsoever when you break down the risk and reward of it all. This is one of those decisions where I don't get what on earth he was thinking, because even though it's an unconventional play that I'm suggesting, it's one that you had to do, and one that was very obvious to anyone who knew the rules of the sport. So with that being said, let's take a look at why not kicking the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone with 2:01 left in the contest and with 1 timeout left is a really bad idea. And I want to make something extremely clear before I go any further. I had no problem with the decision to forego the onside kick. I had no problem whatsoever with deciding to kick it off deep and trying to get a stop. Your defense had been playing relatively well all day. On 3 of Indy's 6 drives in the second half up until that point, they did not record a first down, as they either went 3 and out, 4 and out, or threw an interception. An onside kick is a low probability play, especially with today's rules. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that you never call the onside kick. Sometimes, you have to take chances and do low probability plays in order to win the game. If you've got 90 seconds left and no timeouts, and you don't try the onside kick, then yes, that is a dumb decision. And we saw something similar to that last week when the Denver Broncos played the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you can learn more about that by clicking the card in the upper right corner. But I'm fine with the idea of kicking deep with 2:01 left and with a timeout in your back pocket, especially with the way your defense have been playing. Get a stop, and either you're not pinned deep in your own territory, or you don't allow the Colts to try a field goal attempt and make it an 8-point game. So this has nothing to do whatsoever with the onside kick, because I would have done the same thing. Not going to do an in-defense sub video on that, but at least with that part of the equation, I don't have a problem with it here. Having said that, there is a major problem with kicking it long and not out of bounds or short of the landing zone. And the reason for that is because you only have 1 timeout, so the clock is not your friend. However, the 2-minute warning is a de facto timeout, and you can use it to your advantage instead of using it as a crutch. The 2-minute warning isn't just something that is there for the sake of it. I mean, yes, it is there for television purposes, but it's also there as a tool that you can use to help you out and get a 4th timeout of sorts. I'm going to propose 2 scenarios to you, and for this, we're going to the chalkboard. In option A, you kick the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone, and the Colts get the ball at the 40-yard line with 2:01 left. We're going to assume that you get a 3 and out, because you need to. Otherwise, no matter what happens, the game is over. First down, and the Colts have to call a play. The play takes 5 seconds and goes down to 1:56, where the clock stops because of the 2-minute warning. Second down, and the Colts call a run, which goes down to 1:51. At that point, the Bears call their 3rd and final timeout. Third down, and the Colts call a run, which goes down to 1:46. The 40-second play clock takes it down to 1:06, where the Colts punt it back, and, assuming a 7-yard punt, you've got 59 seconds to drive down the field and get a touchdown. Obviously, it's not ideal to have 59 seconds left, but you can do it. There's plenty of time to march down the field and get something going. However, compared to the alternative that we're about to display, it's infinitely better. Because let's talk about option B, where you don't kick the ball out of bounds or short of the landing zone. The Colts are going to return it. If you can't reach the back of the end zone, and this stays in the field of play, and spoiler alert, your kickoff specialist cannot reach the back of the end zone, and not proven himself capable of ever reaching the back of the end zone, then the Colts will return this one, and they'll return it past the 2-minute warning. Well, there goes that extra timeout you wanted, that now you don't have available at your disposal. And good luck winning the game from that point on. If we assume a 6-second return down to 1:55, on first down, the Colts call a running play to take the clock down to 1:50, where you burn a timeout. Second down, and the Colts call a running play to take the clock down to 1:45, where 40 seconds expire afterwards off the play clock, down to 1:05. Third down, and the Colts call another running play to go down to 1 minute, where 40 seconds come off the clock to take it down to 20 seconds. Now, you're only going to get the ball back off a punt, assuming a 7-second punt, with 13 seconds left. You'll have 13 seconds left to mount a drive and get close enough for a Hail Mary, and then get the Hail Mary, all while being completely unable to use the middle of the field. So tell me, which scenario is better for you? Which gives you the better chance of mounting a drive down the field and winning the game with a touchdown? The one where you have 59 seconds, or the one where you have 13 seconds? 59 seconds or 13 seconds? Of course it's the one with 59 seconds. It's the bigger number. You want more opportunities to move down the field. If you have to guess the number 1 through 10, you have a better chance of getting it right if you have 4 guesses versus if you have 1. That's just basic math, and that applies here. If we assume that you're starting with the ball around your own 25-yard line, you'll probably need to average about 9 yards per play in the 59-second scenario. And you'll probably need to average about 25 yards per play in the second scenario with 13 seconds. And one of those is significantly easier than the other. In the first scenario, you have time to use the middle of the field. You can check it down if you absolutely have to. You don't necessarily have to use the sidelines, at least not right away. In the other scenario, it's sidelines or bust, and then a Hail Mary. You're screwed. You're completely and utterly screwed. At that point, you might as well have just onside kicked it, so you at least have a chance of getting the ball back. If you know that your kicker cannot reach the back of the end zone, then you tell your kicker to boot it out of bounds or to squib it intentionally so that it lands short of the landing zone. Yes, the Colts get the ball at the 40, but the field position means nothing. What difference does it make if the Colts are starting at the 40 or the 25 ball for return if the Colts can run out the clock in that second scenario? Simple. It makes no difference. Matt Eberflus, once again, completely mismanaged the situation, which shouldn't come as a surprise, because that's just another day that ends in the letter Y up in Chicago. So what do we learn from all this? If you have 2 options, and one option gives you more time than the other option, with no risk whatsoever, then take the option that gives you more time, especially if you need more time. If you, wait, hold on a second. I just got word from my producer. Give me 1 second. Come on, what's going on? I told you in the middle of recording. Why are you bothering me and interrupting me when I'm doing... Wait, what? For real? Are you sure? Okay. Hang on, guys. Apparently, I forgot to finish the play. Apparently, I didn't show the entire play. I don't know why I need to do this, since obviously the Colts are going to take it out of the end zone, so I don't know what the purpose of this is here. But my producer really wants me to play the ending of this play, so we're going to do that. This better be good. Show me what the Colts do here.
Santos kicks it away. Gould will take a knee.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You what?
Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking an in-depth look at decisions made, yada, yada, yada. Indianapolis Colts head coach Shane Steichen. How? How did you not tell your guy not to do this? How did you not discuss the situation beforehand during the dead ball timeout after the Bears scored? This is just basic stuff. When the clock's at 2:01 and you have the lead and you're getting it back off the kickoff, you have to return the ball so that you can get it past the 2-minute warning and not give the opposition a free timeout. Barring something ridiculous, if you take this out of the end zone, you win the game. You literally win the game. The Bears give you the free win barring a 30-yard pass and a Hail Mary. And you didn't take advantage of it? All you had to do was run it out and then go down. You didn't even have to risk a fumble. You just have to take 1 second off the clock at a time where you have positive momentum and everyone else on the dynamic kickoff is standing still and has to go from 0 to top speed. No one can touch you in 1 second. No one can start the 30-yard line and reach the goal line in 1 second starting flat-footed. You just had to take this out and you win. And you didn't tell your guys that situation? How? What's absurd is that you were literally on the other side of the coin last year, exactly 1 year ago, during week 3 of the 2023 season, in a game against the Baltimore Ravens, which you can learn more about by clicking the card in the upper right corner. Remember that game? After having to punt it off of a safety, all Zay Flowers had to do with 2:04 left was return the punt for any sort of distance, and the game was over, as the Ravens could just run out the clock after taking it past the 2-minute warning. Instead, for some reason, Flowers calls a fair catch as instructed by Coach John Harbaugh. The Ravens have to call a play before the 2-minute warning, thereby giving you an extra timeout, and then you get the ball back. You tie it up, and you win it in overtime. You were literally on the flip side of this and realized how dumb the Ravens were. And you forgot? You decided to make the same mistake that they did, even after seeing how it cost them firsthand and benefited you? That is pure stupidity. Just pure and utter stupidity. I don't know what's worse. Eberflus having his kicker kick it off deep, knowing he can't reach the back of the end zone, or you deciding to have your guy take a knee and not take it out. This whole game, from this debacle to the play calling on Chicago's side with that speed option, to the decision to have Cairo Santos for a 56-yard field goal when he does not have the leg to hit from 56, was just coaching malpractice. This game gave me a headache on both sides. I mean, my God, this is amateur level stuff. How did both coaches find a way to screw up here? And what's absurd when it came to the game between these two teams behind me right here is the fact that after the game, no one, not one person, asked Shane Steichen what the heck was going on that play, where with 2:01 left, they could have won the game if they took it out of the end zone, and instead, they took a knee. No one asked Shane Steichen what was going on. How does not one reporter ask that question? I know it didn't matter at the end, because the Colts ended up getting the first down and the Bears never touched the ball again as a result, but it never should have gone to that point in the first place. This was basic awareness. This was the biggest play of the game at the time, and no one asked the question? No one popped the question to the Colts head coach that we were all looking for the answer to? How? Just a complete lack of awareness from everyone at Lucas Oil Stadium on this day. From the reporters, to the Colts coach, to the Bears coach. I need a drink after this. That's how bad this game was. So what do we learn from all this? If you can win the game by just running a kickoff out and falling down, then do that. If all you have to do in order to win the game is move a couple of feet uncontested, then do that. If you have two options as the winning team, and one option kills the clock and prevents the losing team from doing something when they get the ball back, and the other option does not do that, and it actually gives the losing team some time to work with, then for the love of God, take the first option. Take the freaking first option. And if you're going to watch a game between the Colts and the Bears, make sure you watch it while drunk, because if you watch it sober, your head is going to hurt trying to understand how this game was even played. The rationale was that stupid. Because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. Be sure to like and subscribe if you have not done so already, as it helps the channel out a lot, and check out my other channels, JG8 for the history of college football, JG7 for the history of baseball, and JG9 News, where we talk about all things happening in the NFL. Join me every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we'll play live NFL trivia for cash prizes. And make sure to join me live, as we're on stream just about every single day. And thanks to all our Patreon members and our YouTube members for helping out the channel. See how you become a member and show your support financially in the description down below.